push for UNESCO listing for NIA Cave. Strengthening Sarawak's capacity in geoheritage. South Korea braces for very strong typhoon. Those are the headlines for tonight. I'm Shal Chamiato and this is TVS Nightline. NIA National Park, dubbed as Borneo's Cradle of Life, nomination for UNESCO World Heritage Site status will be the first site to possess a mixed criteria on outstanding universal value in terms of its natural and cultural significance. These include the ecosystem and rainforest archaeological discoveries spanning millions of years, which offer a huge diversity of attractions.
Thereby, the Sarawak government is adamant to preserve artifacts, historical sites and monuments. Sarawak Forestry Corporation SFC Chief Executive Officer Zulkifli Muhammad Aton said these features will amaze and captivate people throughout the world. Zulkifli noted that speakers at the NIA National Park International Conference for World Heritage Site nomination held in Miri today serve as a supporting document for the nomination through the 15 papers presented and share recent discoveries and research to strengthen the OUV.
We have a lineup of the best internationally renowned speakers to share with each and every one of you here their thoughts, ideas and knowledge during this conference. Hence, with the gathering of the great minds, this conference will indeed open up a plethora of opportunities in exploring key issues in heritage and nature conservation and ultimately pave ways in ensuring the sustainability of biodiversity, culture and heritage is safeguarded for years to come. The nomination dossier is scheduled for submission for the World Heritage Committee by February 2023. It's about 6 months. Yeah. Hence, this is a very strong indicator for us to step up our game and unite to do our utmost best to ensure NIA National Park would be Sarawak's second UNESCO World Heritage Site as per its counterparts, the Gunung Mulu National Park, which was listed in UNESCO World Heritage Site in the year 2000.
He said so during his welcoming speech at the conference, which was officiated by Minister of Tourism, Creative Industry and Performing Arts Sarawak, Dr. Sri Abdul Karim Rahman Hamzah. He pointed out that apart from biodiversity conservation, one of SFC's core thrusts is to develop, enhancing, as well as promote nature-based and community-based ecotourism products in its quest to position Sarawak as the #1 preferred tourist destination. Thus, it is befitting for SFC to collaborate with the Sarawak Museum Department as the custodian of archaeological sites, monuments, and cultural landmarks to ensure NIA National Park is listed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Designating NIA National Park as a World Heritage Site is a timely initiative that would further strengthen Sarawak's capacity in heritage protection and the development of world-class conservation practices. Premier of Sarawak, Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg stressed that listed site may receive assistance in its conservation under specified circumstances and global recognition that would promote sustained, inclusive and sustainable economic growth to the surrounding community of NIA.
This is the reason why Sarawak places a high priority on getting NIA National Park to the UNESCO World Heritage Site list, as this designation can significantly increases the awareness among general public and related organizations, which will do wonders for heritage, appreciation, education, creativity, and nation building.
This was expressed by Abang Johari, whose tech speech was read by Minister of Tourism, Creative Industry and Performing Arts Sarawak, Dr. Sri Abdul Karim Rahman Hamzah at the International Conference on NIA National Park for World Heritage Site nomination held at Pullman Miri today. He added that given NIA's outstanding universal values, it is the responsibility of all to preserve, maintain, rehabilitate, and share it with the world as our contribution in understanding the progression of world's human history.
For a place like NIA National Park, which has some of Southeast Asia's most important archaeological sites, geoheritage, and natural ecosystem, it is only natural that the state government works to get NIA National Park designated as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Our unique biodiversity is protected by the National Parks and Nature Reserve Ordinance 1998 and Wildlife Protection Ordinance of 1998 also, while our cultural legacy is safeguarded by the Sarawak Heritage Ordinance 2019, which was recently implemented.
Abang Johari hopes that this conference serves as an opportunity and one of the many steps required towards the sharing and exchanging of knowledge, ideas, and experiences that can ensure the preservation of the state's heritage.
Strong winds and high waves pounded the port on South Korea's Jeju Island on Monday, September 5, as the country raised its typhoon alert level to its highest with the nearing of Typhoon Hynamr. Traveling northward at a speed of 24 km per hour, Hynamr is expected to make landfall southwest of the port city of Busan early on Tuesday, September 6, after reaching waters of Jeju Island later on Monday. Warnings have been issued across multiple southern cities, including the island of Jeju, while the Central Disaster and Safety Countermeasures Headquarters on Sunday upgraded its typhoon alert level to the highest in its 4-tier system, the first time in 5 years. Korean Airlines and Asiana Airlines have cancelled most of their Monday flights to Jeju Island, according to their websites, while budget airlines such as Air Seoul and Jin Air have cancelled some of their flights. On other matters, integration of nature and architecture can be realized in an indirect way using elements that are environmentally friendly. Therefore, the proposed upgrading of facilities scheduled for completion by 2024 at the NIA National Park will abide strictly to the UNESCO guidelines through nature-integrated architecture without jeopardizing the existing ecosystem. Minister of Tourism, Creative Industry and Performing Arts Sarawak, Dr. Sri Abdul Karim Rahman Hamzah said the added value would feature a new pathway from the NIA Natural Park headquarters with the installation of buggy services to the cave entrance dedicated for the elderly. Adding that the selection of a contractor is vital at adhering to the requirements set by UNESCO, in which once such recognition is granted and the contractor fails to deliver it, could risk the list being stripped in the future.
Apabila recognition given by UNESCO, tapi kontraktor yang membuat tu mereka merosakkan agenda kita, ya.
He said so during a press conference after officiating the International Conference of NIA National Park World Heritage Nomination Site held at Pullman Hotel in Miri. He noted that once NIA is declared a UNESCO heritage site, it will have a colossal impact in Miri, especially in terms of tourism, taking the distance of NIA from Miri as compared to Mulu, also taking into consideration the costing.
Kalau NIA ni mendapat anugerah tersebut, certification tersebut, it will automatically put Miri in the world map. In the world map, you know, might become one of the must-visit place whenever people come down to Miri.
Abdul Karim also urged the community to play their role in the conservation of nature while being involved in the tourism industry.
When people start coming in to appreciate NIA, there are other ways of making money from these visitors. Homestays lah, makan lah, kebudayaan sana.
Abdul Karim noted that this is the new jewel for the industry. Before, if they rely on guano, the dropping, and bird nest as a source of income, the community can diversify their income, for example, by weaving baskets and introducing new products that can be sold to tourists. Parti Sarawak Bersatu or PSB President Datuk Seri Wong Sun Koh would seriously consider leading his pack into the upcoming parliamentary battle. Following the Central Committee held at the PSB Bawang Asan headquarters, all members of the committee unanimously support the motion of him to contest in Cebu parliamentary seat.
One, they think that I'm most winnable. Number two, I'm party president. I should lead the PSB into parliamentary battle. Okay? Then I say I will seriously consider. That's all.
When asked what the party foresee in this upcoming general election, Wong said that Parti Sarawak Bersatu or PSB are well prepared and equipped when the time comes.
No, that one, when time comes, we will know what to do lah. We are well prepared. Huh?
Wong, who turns 80, will make his debut in the parliamentary election if he agrees to stand in the soon-to-be-called election. The work permit system implemented by Sarawak government for sectors like oil and gas or ONG signifies the state's autonomous right of giving employment priority to qualified Sarawakians, in line with the Malaysia Agreement 1963.
Deputy Minister in Sarawak Premier's Department for Labour, Immigration and Project Monitoring, Dato' Grawat Gala said such autonomy was provided for under the MA 63 and Immigration Act 1959/63, which also accorded Sarawak the right to refuse entry to non-Sarawakians, including foreigners, Peninsular Malaysians and Sabahan.
This work permit system is to ensure that Sarawakians are given priority for available jobs or any employment. In short, the government wants to protect jobs for qualified Sarawakians where they are available. And we do not give work permit to employers to bring non-resident employees if we have local Sarawakians who are suitably qualified and available for the job. Employers who want to bring in non-Sarawakians must show proof that they have taken all efforts to recruit or to identify locally qualified Sarawakians for the job, and they are required to advertise those vacancies.
He said this during his speech for Sarawak Oil and Gas Workers Association's fundraising dinner in Miri, Sarawak. Adding further, he said that under the work permit system, the government intends to protect the jobs for Sarawakians and will not allow employers to bring in non-resident employees. However, in the event that a non-resident employee is needed, employers are required to show proof that local Sarawakians are not available for the jobs.
While the government wants to protect jobs for Sarawakians, which is still a very important agenda for us, another important agenda when it comes to work permit is creation of jobs. So these companies will want to have their own experts, skilled workers to come in, and we would like to inform them in those instances the state government would consider the work permit application because that is part of the incentive to get investors to come in. This is not saying that we don't give opportunity for local Sarawakians, This is part of the responsibility of the government to create new jobs for Sarawakian. Once we protect jobs, we also want to create new jobs, high-paying jobs, more employment for Sarawakians.
According to Grawat, the new system and database for processing work permits is now in progress and is designed to enhance the effectiveness and efficiency of the process by cutting down the time for approval and setting up a better and more reliable database of the available skills and talents slated for the different industries, including ONG.
The developments in Tanjung Manis will not happen overnight, as they are being developed through various phases and with many challenges. This was expressed by Dr. Len Talif, the Deputy Minister of Urban Planning, Land Administration and Environment. Adding to that, he said that the various challenges faced by the government included economic disturbance, the COVID-19 pandemic, geographical conditions and logistics, among others.
Tiap-tiap pembangunan yang kita jalankan akan mengambil masa, mempunyai perancangan yang panjang. 3 tahun, 4 tahun, 5 tahun. Kalau kita lihat dari segi perancangan Tanjung Manis, 41 tahun. Dan dengan pecah tanah Tanjung Manis, sudah 30 lebih tahun. Begitu juga kerja-kerja yang lain, terutamanya pembangunan infrastruktur.
Len Talif, who is also Kuala Rajang Assemblyman, reiterated that the development plan that is being rapidly implemented in the area is part of the government's effort to provide the best facilities to the residents in the long run. He added that the project implementation is not only focused on the new town of Tanjung Manis, but also on the surrounding area to benefit the whole population.
Pembangunan jambatan dan jalan raya dari Sibu 2011 sudah siap, dan juga tidak lama lagi jambatan dari Serikir ke Tanjung Manis 2024 insya-Allah. Jadi apa yang kita hendakkan ialah supaya kawasan ini dapat membangun dengan menyediakan infrastruktur yang akan digunakan bukan saja untuk pelawat, untuk turisme, pelancong dan sebagainya, ialah untuk membangunkan ekonomi kita di kawasan ini.
He was speaking when officiating the Majlis Penangguhan Fiesta Iftitah at Belawai Beach on Sunday, September 4th.
Coming up right after the break, Dr. Sri Najib Tun Razak, still Pekan MP for now. 10 dead, at least 15 hurt in Saskatchewan stabbings. Right here on Tvs Nightline. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Former Prime Minister Dr. Sri Najib Tun Razak is still the Member of Parliament for Pekan. Dewan Rakyat Speaker Tan Sri Azhar Azizan Harun said this was in view of the pardon petition filed by Najib under Article 42 of the Federal Constitution on September 2, which is well within the 14 days after his sentencing.
Therefore, Azhar said his disqualification as a Member of Parliament will only take effect if the petition is rejected. As such, he said Najib's status as the Pekan MP remains unchanged at this time. Azhar's latest statement comes just after he told reporters that Najib would lose his MP status. Previously, Azhar said Najib would automatically be disqualified as the Pekan MP after 14 days if no other court procedures were initiated or a royal pardon was not applied for within that period. Najib was imprisoned 13 days ago after the federal court upheld his conviction and sentence of 12 years jail and a 210 million ringgit fine in the SRC international case. He has been the Pekan MP for 5 terms since 1976. Under Article 48 of the Federal Constitution, a person can be disqualified as an MP if they are convicted for an offence and sentenced to more than 1 year in jail and fined more than 2,000 ringgit. Meanwhile, the Royal Malaysian Police PDRM is still hunting for businessman Low Tek Joe, or more commonly known as Joe Low, for his alleged involvement in the One Malaysia Development Berhad 1MDB scandal and highlighted in the billion-dollar well expose, which was broadcast on YouTube. Inspector General Police Tan Sri Akhil Sani Abdullah Sani said his team is actively cooperating with International Police Interpol to locate the businessman.
Seperti mana yang telah pun disebutkan oleh Menteri Dalam Negeri bahawa kita telah pun menghantar memaklumkan kepada pihak Interpol, bukan sahaja Malaysia, bahkan Singapura juga telah pun membuat tuntutan kepada Interpol untuk menyejak dan juga membawa balik ke negara kita ini. Justru kita setakat ini kita masih lagi belum mendapat maklum balas daripada pihak Interpol di mana keberadaan Jolo itu. Jadi kita harus mengikut protokol-protokol yang telah pun disepakati oleh negara-negara anggota Interpol dalam usaha menyejak penjenayah-penjenayah yang dikendaki.
Last week, Home Minister Dato Sri Hamzah Zainuddin questioned the individual who claimed to have seen the businessman at the Disneyland theme park in Shanghai.
Former Tabung Haji Chairman Dato Sri Abdul Aziz Abdul Rahim failed in his appeal at the Court of Appeal to strike out the 9 charges made against him, 3 for corruption and 6 for money laundering.
A 3-man bench comprising Justice Dato Sri Kamaluddin Muhammad Said, Justice Dato Abu Bakar Jais, and Justice Dato Chair Muhammad Rizima Ghazali ruled that the 9 charges preferred on Abdul Aziz were not defective. In a unanimous decision delivered by Justice Abu Bakar, the court ordered Abdul Aziz's trial on the 9 charges to resume in the Sessions Court. Justice Abu Bakar, who read the court's decision, however, allowed Abdul Aziz's appeal to partly nullify 4 of the money laundering charges. Abdul Aziz was charged at the Sessions Court with 3 counts of accepting bribes amounting to 5.2 million ringgit in connection with road projects in Perak and Kedah, and 10 counts of money laundering involving a total of 13.9 million ringgit, which he allegedly received from Menuju Asas Sendran Berhad. The offences were allegedly committed at CIMB Bank, Jalan Tun Perak in Kuala Lumpur on December 8, 2010, and at Affin Bank, Puchong City Centre, Selangor on June 13, 2017 and April 10, 2018. On the money laundering charges, Abdul Aziz was charged with committing the offences in the Klang Valley area between March 8, 2010 and August 30, 2018. Abdul Aziz was appealing against a High Court decision made on March 12 last year, which dismissed his application to strike out the 3 corruption charges and 10 money laundering charges.
Thank you for staying with me. And now on to other global affairs. Canadian police are on the hunt for 2 suspects in a stabbing spree that killed 10 people and wounded at least 15, mostly in a sparsely populated Indigenous community early on Sunday, September 4. The stabbings across 13 crime scenes were among the deadliest mass killings in modern Canadian history and are certain to reverberate throughout the country.
The suspects were identified as Damien Sanderson and Miles Sanderson and were believed to be traveling in a black Nissan Rogue. The attacks happened at multiple locations, including James Smith Cree Nation and Weldon in Saskatchewan, and there were 13 crime scenes that police were investigating.
At this point in our investigation, we have located 10 deceased individuals in 13 locations in the community of James Smith Cree Nation and Weldon, Saskatchewan. Several additional victims have been injured, 15 of which at this point have been transported to various hospitals. There may be additional injured victims who transported themselves to various hospitals. Let me be clear, we are still looking for the 2 suspects. We are asking residents across Saskatchewan and our neighboring provinces to be vigilant. At this stage in our investigation, we believe some of the victims have been targeted by the suspect and others have been attacked randomly. The 2 suspects are Damien Sanderson and Miles Sanderson. Damien Sanderson is described as a 31-year-old male, 5'7", 155 pounds, with black hair and brown eyes. Miles Sanderson is a 30-year-old male, 6'1", 240 pounds, with brown hair and brown eyes. If Damien and Miles are listening or receive this information, I would ask that they turn themselves into police immediately. They are considered armed and dangerous. They are believed to be in a black Nissan Rogue SUV with Saskatchewan license plate 119MPI. At this point, we don't know if they have changed vehicles since this morning. Their location and direction of travel is unknown.
Police said that some of the victims appeared to have been targeted by the suspects, while others were attacked randomly.
Bank Negara is expecting to high OPR rates. Hence, let us hear from an industry expert on this matter, where hosts Sharon Kazia and Wan Alif will be interviewing Saltihi Zeni, a financial consultant. 7:45 a.m. only on TVS Astro Channel 122 and My Freeview. That's all the time we have for TVS Nightline. I'm Shal Shamato. Thank you for watching.